Hello everybody, I'm finally back to making old school magic videos, and one of the reasons for that is that I had a lot of parcels waiting in the mail, and now I finally got all of them and it's time to reorganize my collection. But before that, I would like to share the joy of opening old school magic cards with you. I mostly acquired these cards during the events of spring and summer 2020. You understand how difficult this time is for everybody, and for some reason I just decided to purchase some of the cards that I wanted to purchase for a long time. I traded some of my sealed product for that, and without any further ado, let's start with the first card. So this is day one of the mail week, which I'm going to be posting here on this channel, and this is probably the most important card for me personally that I always wanted to have, and I never did have it. As you can see, I already ripped open the package, unlike the other ones, because I was just so impatient to see this copy finally. When I played the game of Chandelier, I always loved this particular card just because of its, I don't know, magic ability. And it's difficult to explain, but everything is perfect about this card for me personally. The playability, the flavor, the art, and this card is Library of Alexandria. I actually almost bought this particular card. I mean, I bought it and then cancelled the order about 2.5 years ago from Card Kingdom. And this particular copy I got actually for less, which I'm happy about. And of course, it's not a perfect copy. It's, I think, something that would qualify as a heavy played card, heavily played. It's not damaged, I think, if we look at the surface. I mean, there are of course some scratches. Most of the wear is on the edges. It's mostly around the edges, so that's fine. A little bit faded in some parts maybe. The back is also really well loved, but it's definitely well played and well loved card, and I'm looking forward to playing it in my decks. Mostly I wanted to make a deck with draw 7 effects and Underworld Dreams, for example, some kind of parfait deck. There can be so many different decks that abuse this card, and to be honest with you, I always admired this art and the card itself, and I maybe felt a little bit jealous of the people who had it, whereas I didn't. I always felt that this was very, very unfair to lose against the library that your opponent is playing on turn 1. And if they're playing it on the draw, they would immediately draw a card, and it's just, almost like half-time walking every turn. And I mean, this card is definitely busted, but there is also a lot of land destruction, and it is actually not so easy to play around this card. I mean, if you are playing this particular card, then you can only cast one spell usually, and maybe draw additional card and maybe play a land or mox or something like this. So, obviously it is a very powerful card, but there are ways to deal with it. So, speaking of the art, I'm not sure what draws me to this card. First of all, I'm a big fan of Mark Poole. Mark Poole was definitely #1 artist for me when I started playing Magic. I still hold his pictures dearly, and I think that he's definitely a master of that. I would say, art taste has changed maybe a little bit, because I didn't appreciate, let's say, Drew Tacker or Quentin Hoover back in the day. Now these are among my favorite artists as well. But Mark Poole, surely. I think it's mostly about colors. I think he is just absolutely brilliant with colors. He makes them really vivid, and they almost look like comic book colors, but at the same time still not really comics, but pictures. So I'm not really sure how to describe that, but I think you understand this point. And if we look at the people here that gathered near the library, I think it really makes the card even more interesting, more impressive, and the sky and the combination of this golden frame and the golden domes of the library itself. It could be, said it's somewhat minimalistic in some way, but I still love it. So anyway, just wanted to share the joy of getting this card, and look forward to playing it. So you will definitely see it in my future decks. I would say that it's an auto-include card for many decks, but maybe not for all of them. So there is that. And again, you know, it's a very pleasant feeling when you're finally getting one of the cards of your dreams. So stay tuned for more. This is day 1 of the mail week, and there is definitely going to be 6 videos. So stay tuned. Bye.